Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to my review of Higurashi Outbreak, the OVA movie slash thing. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I have the full reaction to the Higurashi Outbreak OVA. If you want to check that out and anything Higurashi related prior to that. But yeah, this is also, if you notice in the title, it says review slash theory video. It's because and you're like Aiden. Well, sorry, I'm losing it. um, it's because there are some stuff I want to talk about that go into the theory crafting realm where they might not be true and or like will never be confirmed, but I'm compelled to talk about it. And it was really fun to do. I actually already did the theory part last night because I was like asleep in my bed. I suddenly had a freaking epiphany. I'm like, oh my god, this is the best theory I've ever had. And then I like recorded it at like 3 a.m. But so it's pretty dank if you're interested in that. Though I will say spoilers for Umineto. So if you're really worried about that, I guess don't watch that. But we're gonna just talk about my general opinions of the movie. Before that, general thought, I think I like it. I don't know if it's good on paper, but I liked it. I think it's interesting at least. First though, I want to go over the setting because it is a little confusing. Probably the weakest part of the movie, though. I think it's my subs are also to blame. UQW. You're on the blacklist. Never using you again. But basically, I think Higurashi Outbreak is a world where Hifumi, which I assume was shown in the movie, but my sub said some random guy, because it looked like Hifumi, got his fundraising from Koizumi without getting cock-blocked by Tokyo. And with that, they had a lot more research onto the virus. Hello, train. Sorry, that's a train. Or not the virus, the parasite. Plus, it seems like it's a world that never stopped developing the biological weapon slash the virus version of Hinamizawa syndrome. Some details of this world. I believe this is a world without Mio in it. I mean, she's in it, but she's not like... I don't think she gets adopted by Hifumi. Maybe she doesn't. She either dies in the orphanage or that stuff doesn't happen. Hopefully, she doesn't die in the orphanage. And maybe like Hifumi doesn't like save her because he's already actually, he wouldn't already be funded. But I think it's a world without Takano, which actually we go into a lot into the theory. Into the theory part. Also, because it's a world without Takano, there's no Tomotaki, and you're like, Aiden, why wouldn't Tomotaki be part of the team? It's because Tomotaki was only part of the clinic because of this whole Takano thing, right? Like, Irie would always be like a director because he's a good candidate. Tomotaki was brought like as a part of a new team to aid Takano, but like if the plan never got cancelled, then we assume Hifumi would probably be working in Hinamizawa for a while with Irie either as an assistant or, you know, takes over eventually, just because he's like the best candidate because of his past. So it's that kind of world. Also, it's good to note that like what happened, it's also it's kind of a fun idea because this is also a world that shows what happens if everyone in the village gets Hinamizawa syndrome. Because, you know, it's always talked about in the visual novel in the main story that, emergency manual 34, the village would go chaotic and kill each other if Rita dies, which we see that. It doesn't actually happen. But, forgot her name. Nozumi? Whatever, evil girl, white-haired girl, creates a situation that forces everyone in the village to get the syndrome. Quarantine, causing mass panic, you know. Because it is possible for everyone to get the syndrome. It's just not, I I think, it's not explicitly stated, but I do think it is kind of proven that just because Rita dies as the mother of the parasite, it won't incite this mass transformation. But if you do cause stress and cause like a mass spike in the levels, then that will probably have a chain reaction. It can cause this like faded, whole village turns crazy thing. So it's kind of cool seeing that, at least interesting. Also, it's a world where Hifumi's theory was right, because Hifumi, he wanted to do the Hinamizawa syndrome, right? But that wasn't like the end goal. His end goal was to prove that, because he thought parasites controlled everything, but like was the reason for religions and countries and stuff, and they kind of low-key proved it when they were talking to the prime minister. So that's the world, basically, if you're wondering what's happening. It is a little confusing, though. I think they could have maybe explained it better, though again, it might just be because I was using not the greatest subs. But yeah, we're in that kind of world. It's kind of like an apocalypse setting, because by the end of it, it seems like the world's completely effed up because there's some sort of variant of the parasite everywhere. And now that I think about it, I don't exactly love that, because the whole idea of the Hinamizawa parasite is the fact that it's a thing because Hanyu's an alien and she brought it with her. So it's kind of weird, but yeah, I understand the world. I thought the story itself was pretty cool. Like I just responded to a comment where it seems unnecessarily violent, which I agree, it is very violent, probably the most violent we've seen in Higurashi. And it is a little weird to see Rena and Keiichi killing people. Just because you have the final battle in Matsuribayashi where they don't kill any of the mountain gods. But I think there's actually a good reason for this. One, it does seem that like at least Rena is kind of a high level of the syndrome right now. Just you can tell by her eyes. Probably because they shot Mion in front of her and killed her dad. So it's very it made sense. And I think just the fact that there was casualties already and this like high stress situation, they're not in like, I mean, it is kind of a similar situation to Matsuribayashi, but they're not like fully united as a team like in Matsuribayashi. So it kind of made sense. I can understand though why you wouldn't enjoy it. I kind of liked it though. I kind of like bloody stuff, so the ending was a little weird though, like going off into the apocalypse. But yeah, the art looked very good. I thought the fight scenes looked kind of cool. It was very unsettling, to be honest, to see Rena and Keiichi teaming up to kill everyone. But I think it was fun. And you're like Aiden, there's a couple of characters missing. We already talked about Tateno Tomitaki, but we are Tateno fan. Are we gonna dot points from the movie because Tateno wasn't in it? And normally I would say yes, but because of the theory crafting, the fact that Tateno wasn't in it helped me create a really dank theory about the state of this world. So like I'm not gonna say it. I mean, so I'm not gonna dot points. No Shion. I guess Shion's just dead. No Oishi. It would have kind of been cool just to show them at least. See what they're doing. Just like flash quickly to them or whatever would have been fine, but whatever. Like the main part of this though is like my favorite part of the movie really is the Rita and Hanyu talk, because there's just like a lot of implications and I don't know if any of them will ever be like proved, confirmed, or they're just fake and I'm just overthinking stuff. But I'll leave it here and we'll switch to the part I recorded last night talking about my theories. There's some fun ones. Again, if you haven't read Umineko and you're sensitive about that, then don't check it out. But really fun theories. But yeah, enjoy that. Thanks. Bye. All right, so we are on the review part, or not the review, the theory part of the review. Now this is a little awkward because I haven't actually recorded the review part of the review, but like I was about to go to sleep and I thought of like the funniest fucking meme theory, so I had to like I need to record the review part before I forget it because it's so good. But yeah, great movie by the way. Oops, sorry. Oh yeah, but let's talk about some theories from Outbreak. And you're like, Aiden, what's there to theorize? There's really only one scene, but it's so like weird that I feel like you can theorize a lot about it. And probably most of it being wrong, but it just got my creative juices thinking. So yeah, we're obviously talking about the Rita and Hanyu scene where Rita and Hanyu were talking, though it was very different from the normal Rita and Hanyu we've seen. And all right, so I have a couple ideas. First off, though, let's address like a pretty like, at least during my time, I don't know how the theory landscape has changed since Go and Sotsu. I don't know why I always forget the sequel's name. I think it's Sotsu or Sotu or something. There's a character in Naku called Featherine. I don't know her full name because it's a freaking sentence and people are like, oh, it's Hanyu. And obviously, since I read Naku first, I didn't know what Hanyu was or who. But yeah, I mean, I agree with the theory. It's a pretty easy theory to connect, you know. Rita is Burncastle, and Burncastle's teacher, quote unquote, is Featherine, who was Hanyu in Higurashi. Anyways, it's not that important. I just want to establish that theory, which I agree with. Also, I guess just bonus theory, like who is Lambda Delta? This has nothing to do with the Outbreak, but I kind of want to set that up, I guess. I mean, it kind of has something to do with my meme theory. In my opinion, I know like the easy answer is Satoto, but like I just don't think it's Satoto, just because one, it doesn't make sense unless something happens in Go or Sotsu. Like my opinion, post finishing the Higurashi visual novel for Lambda Delta, I think it's the freaking the god that helped Takano. Because in the visual novel, you know how or maybe you don't know, but during the chase scene when Takano was escaping the orphanage, there's literally a voice, like when she was yelling at God, there's literally a voice that said, oh, you poor child, or something, like literally a voice, which wasn't in the anime. And then there's just, I always thought Nomura was like really freaking convenient, so I thought like maybe that's something with the god too helping, and I think that's just like Lambda Delta. Because also another cool thing which I didn't know during Umineko, because I always just thought like when I googled who Burncastle was, because I didn't know who Rita was, I always just assumed it was Satoto. But if you actually look at Lambda Delta, and I forgot who pointed this out to me a long time ago, but thank you, it does look more like the kid Takano version than Satoto. I'm not saying Takano is Lambda Delta. I'm just saying I think it's the god that helped Takano. But anyways, it's not that important. I just wanted to throw that in there. So a couple of theories going into this. Some of the more memey theories, like, and this sentence is like probably the most confusing out of that scene, was Hanyu talking about her friends are going to wake up after 1,000 years and the world's going to be destroyed. Like, I had no idea what that means, and like the only logical thing I can think of are like, or not friends, I think she said siblings to be exact. The only thing I can think of are like other witches, which makes my first theory, maybe Hanyu is not Featherine, and maybe Featherine is a sister of Hanyu. Now Burncastle doesn't really have like a connect. It's kind of weird. It's kind of funky, but I think it made sense. But the meme theory I was really thinking about, because that theory is just kind of loose. What if this theory is so... It's funny though. It reminds me of the old days. What if Lambda Delta is Hanyu's sibling? And what if I can't even say it with a straight face. What if Outbreak is like a prequel prequel to Higurashi? Okay, hear me out. One of the siblings is the god that helped Takano. What if like Outbreak was the world before the god helped Takano? Because we can assume that in this world, in the Outbreak world, there's no Takano, right? This is a world where Nomura gets her she still does the whole parasite plan thing, but without Takano, with proper funding, and it goes smoothly. What if Takano just never makes it because she never gets help from the god because the god's not awake, because the god is Hanyu's sister or sibling, and that sibling's Lambda Delta. Oh my, do you follow? Maybe not. I don't know. I just thought of that before going to sleep, and I thought it was kind of sick. Basically, they said something weird about siblings. It only really made sense if they're talking about witches, unless the siblings mean parasites, because it's like something that came from Hanyu's race, but it's still kind of weird. And if it is like sibling witches, I know like the feathering thing made sense, but not really, but it kind of made sense. I'm more iffy on that one, but I really like at least that Lambda Delta might be a sibling to Hanyu. And I know the prequel thing's kind of crazy, but it kind of sounds nice to me. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because this is a world without Takano, and Takano only gets to where she is in the time loop because she gets help from a god who like spawns some money for her to call Hifumi, like helps her out a bunch, gives her the power of certainty. You know, certain will, Lambda Delta. I don't know. I feel like the gears are turning for that theory. So that's my like highlight theory of of this review / video. Tell me what you think about it if you care. But let's go back to the scene. Some more obvious theories. Whatever the nature of this world is, because now what I'm about to talk about like completely contradicts my whole Actually, no, it doesn't. Oh my god, I'm connecting webs. As soon as I freaking, like, on the spot. Okay, I was trying to say, like, maybe this world is, like, the end of the Higurashi line, because it shows Burnt Castle, because it kind of seems like Hanyu and Rita are giving up on the world and Burnt Castle is just gonna leave. But think about this. Okay, think about this. Oh my god. Wait, I feel like I might be a genius. Higurashi. We meet this entity we talked to, and we kind of assume it's just Burnt Castle looking through. It's an entity created by Rita after time looping so much. What if Outbreak, the Outbreak world, is the birth of Burnt Castle? And then that Burnt Castle is chilling on a higher plane, just watching from above. And that's where you get the separation from Rita and Burnt Castle. Oh my god, is Outbreak actually a prequel? I know it's 3 a.m. in the morning, but I think I might actually be a genius. Holy shit. I think that's true, right? Because we don't know how Burnt Castle forms. And this seems like a great point for like the rise of Burnt Castle. Because my initial theory before I just thought of this was, this is like the end point. This is like maybe a point post Matsuri Bayashi, or like how we talked about in Kira, how there might be other timelines that are looping. Like where baby Rita came from. Maybe it was like a different timeline. And I thought that maybe it's like a world without Matsuri Bayashi, and this is what it ends up like, which is still kind of a good theory. But like this big brain theory that it's a prequel, it's the creation of Burnt Castle. That's why we meet her in Higurashi. And that's like the true separation not before the looping, but it's like the prequel before the looping. Because then Rita and everything else becomes a piece. Like, what if it's like a world where, like, yes, Rita was looping, but there's no like higher power. They're just normal Rita without like this Burnt Castle person watching. Maybe I'm a genius. Dude, the Outbreak is a prequel theory is actually hot right now. I kind of want to like write that down and post that somewhere. Well, I can just do it in editing. But that's actually kind of sick. Also, I mean, I'll probably mention it in the beginning of the actual review, but you know, you don't need to confirm or deny anything. But you know, if Outbreak's actually a prequel and I'm a genius, then he can confirm that. Actually, Aiden, it's there's nothing really noted about the scene, so there's no point of making theories about it. But yeah, I think that's it. Like, I had more to say, but I feel like the prequel theory just kind of blew it out of the water. But yeah, that's basically it. How do you like that? I thought it was pretty hot. But thank you for watching this video. Hopefully you enjoyed this review / theory video. It's really fun. And if you're interested in what's happening next in the Higurashi timeline on this channel, stay tuned for an update video. Obviously, we're going to be doing the Go and Sotsu reactions next, but it'll be at a... There will be a break in between, so keep an eye out for that. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Thank you. And don't forget to, if you want to, leave your thoughts about the Outbreak OVA, or if you have any theories, or if you, or what you think of the hot prequel theory. But yeah, that's all I got. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye. Okay. I just thought of a new theory. New theory just dropped to add on to this. This is another day, by the way. Okay, we go back to Feathering is Hanyu. I know we just talked about this whole thing where that Feathering might be Hanyu's sibling, but I think I have something cooler. What if Feathering is Hanyu, but Feathering is like the equivalent to Burncasto to Rita? Like, Feathering is like an ascended version of Hanyu. It kind of made sense because like Feathering was like super powerful in Umineko, and this, like, I know it's not like really shown anywhere, but I just assume that Burncasto is more powerful than Hanyu, because at the end of Matsuri Bayashi, Burncasto was the one who took over Rita and stopped the bullet which prevented Hanyu from dying. So I think maybe like Feathering is like kind of what Hanyu, what Burncasto is to Rita, and is ascended, and she's super strong because Hanyu was a god in that world. So when she ascended, she's like, it reached a higher plane than like Burncasto, who was just a human in the normal world. I actually like that. I think I like that better than sibling. I still think Lambda Delta is Hanyu's sibling. Man, all this theory crafting from one scene, huh? It's a good scene though. Gotta love it. Anyways, yeah, extended theory. Add that one to the books. But yeah, thanks for listening, and hopefully you enjoyed the video. Bye!